What's good, Relocation Football League fans? It's your boy Smitty, joined here along with the college series guru, as you might as well call him, Pecan in the building, head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, and of course, alumni of the OHIO. I think you got a little echo going on, Pecan. You got something playing in the back?
No.
I'm hearing sound like it was the stream. And there goes the.
Everything's good. Everything's good on my end. Let me. I think we're good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So to get back on track, we are here with the podcast that is going to reveal a lot. You guys are going to see the awards. You guys are going to see what the upcoming bowl games are, and of course, the playoff bracket. The official playoff bracket is about to be released. And we're going to kind of get to that fast. First thing we're going to do is recap the games. After we recap those conference championship games of an, as the title says, unforgettable championship week, we're going to go straight into that bracket. We're going to see who's versing who. We're going to give our predictions on who, based off of that, would most likely go to the Reload Bowl, and who, of course, might, I said Reload Bowl, go to the national championship. And then we're going to look at the top 25 from there. Going to go into, yeah, it's a buzzing sound going on, Pecan. It's like a.
Is it on my end?
Yeah. Usually what I hear is getting picked up on the podcast as well.
Let me see.
All right. I can't hear you at the moment if you said something. Yeah, well, we're looking to get that done, man. Shout out to the guys who's out here. Who's out here? We got Josh Prince, Jack Sky, Wyatt Harris in the building, Alvin Mack, Colorado Rivers, CP in the building. No, he can't wait for his segment. Dante Taylor, Tayshawn Wiggins, Brian O'Connor, Darius in the building, D Money, Rashad Mitchell with a game, man. We're gonna get to you, man. Michael Blunt, what's good, homie? What else we got? I think I named everyone that has commented, man. Shout out to all you guys who are here for this pod. This is definitely about to be a great one. A lot going on now. I don't have the graphic for the award winners, so we're going to have to actually look at that straight in game. And we took some pictures so we won't reveal because we've been recording bowl games already. Let's go and take off this here. First game we will be recapping, though, is one that, man, our host is going to go in detail about, man, his thoughts and everything on that. Pecan's still trying to figure out what's going on there. But once he gets that all handled, we're going to go into detail. I'm going to ask the community, since you guys are out here, how do you guys feel after that conference championship game, man? What does that make you feel is coming soon for the playoffs, man? The playoff, the bowl games, all that. Actually, I'm going to be back. I realized I left my door open. My young bull out here yelling on a video game. Hopefully you guys don't hear him, but let me close that door real fast and come back. That's crazy. All right, I should be good. Pecan, we still cannot hear you, bro. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Can you hear me, Smitty?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, so we're about good. Said, man.
I can't hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
You can hear me, Pecan? It don't sound like you can hear me.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I got my Bluetooth in.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You hear me though?
Yeah, I can.
No delay.
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I can hear you.
All right, cool. Just want to make sure, man. All right, now let's go ahead and dive into this, man. Awkward start, but at the end of the day.
Oh my gosh, no, it's connected to my phone. Oh my gosh, hold on. Oh wow, it's been connected to my phone this whole entire time.
Wow.
Let me fix that.
Pecan has been on the pod for a minute, man. So trying to get this all fixed here. See, we're already 30 plus deep, man. Shout out to everyone here. Already know what to do. Turn up the podcast. Hit that like button because this is definitely about to be a good one. You good now, Pecan? Yep.
Can you hear me, Smitty?
Yeah, I can hear you, but that mic now is top
Hold on, I need
doggo.
to come back, bro. You won't believe what's the sound that's going on right now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that sound is went from a decent sounding commentary mic to that dude was in a bathroom at the airport type connection.
Bro, what in the world?
Okay, the mic sounds all right
This
now.
has been a great night. Oh my gosh.
All right, so what you might have to do, because there's that little buzzing sound, you might have to like when you're not talking, just mute yourself and turn it back on when
Hello.
you're talking. Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah, Pecan's trying to work it out, man. I guess what I could do, I could kind of dive into this game a little bit, just so we can get into something. And then when he gets that fixed, we're gonna go ahead and dive in it. But Penn State, Ohio State, man. Man, what a game! What a banger to start out the conference championship week. As we saw from these conference championship games, these games already showed us what to prepare for the rest of the week and what we should probably prepare for moving forward. Penn State, when you looked at this team coming into this matchup, I mean, you looked at their schedule compared to Ohio State. Oh, we got a dropout. He'll probably be back here, but Turner Solo came on. But when you look at it, I mean, Penn State literally had some weak comp this year for the most part. Their only best games that they had this season, which they won, it was Washington at the end of the season. It was a good win they got there, and then USC. And those were like really the biggest games that stood out as like, okay, those are some good competition games to see kind of where they stood, and they were able to pull out those games. Of course, they took one loss on the season, and it wasn't a bad loss, but going up against Ohio State, they've played some pretty good games. They had that upset loss against Illinois, and obviously Ohio State's track record. You're looking at this team and you're saying, "Hey, Ohio State should win this game and have it in the bag." Unfortunately, that was not the case, though. What I saw from this game, man, C.J. Johnson did a phenomenal job. Penn State's offense, of course, wasn't a lot of points scored within this game, just 39 total. But the way that Johnson was able to keep drives alive and stand firm in the pocket with the pressure, coming in, offensive line did a great job. And that's one thing Pecan was kind of talking to me about before the game went live was when he was testing and trying to figure out, okay, how can we stop Penn State? He looked at that line and said, man, this line is really good. And they showed to be that night. C.J. Johnson, 222 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's big against Ohio State, man. This is a defense that, really mauls you, turns the football over, things like that. And it was a lot of big plays that just happened in this game that just flipped the game on its head. One of the biggest ones was, of course, the block field goal attempt that Ohio State was trying to get. That got blocked, almost taken all the way back to the house. Then we had 3 interceptions thrown by Dylan Lewis. Dylan Lewis was getting pressured up big time. A lot of sacks on him. And you could tell he was cold, man. Once a quarterback gets cold within the college series, well, it's in college football 26, and even last year, guys start to throw those inaccurate passes, and he just could not find any consistency. He was missing receivers. Biggest opportunity missed of the game. He could have sent the game into overtime. Had a receiver run a flag route, and he just flat out missed Steve McCaskill wide open. He had the DB cooked, and he missed that play. Then he tried on a 4th down to try to throw it up in the back corner of the end zone of the left side, and that got picked off, and that was the game for his 3rd. So it was just a really rough game for Dylan Lewis. Big turnovers. Another turnover happened when Xavier Gibbons, their running back, tried to reach out for the 1st down after making a catch. Ball was a little high. He had to adjust for it and catch it. But then after he caught it, he tried to also extend that arm, and that's what got him kind of blasted on the play. Well, not kind of blasted. He did get blasted on that play, lost the football.
Yeah, he
And
got nailed.
yeah, that was huge. And Penn State again was able to capitalize off of that. So I mean, the momentum that they were able to swing after turnover and pressure after pressure on Dylan Lewis, it was huge. It was very huge. And it really made its impact within this game. I'd have to say, the key to success in this game definitely came from Penn State's O-line, and CJ Johnson, and of course those turnovers. That's what really flipped this game on its head. But I guess since you're here, Pecan, you don't necessarily. I don't think you have to connect. You might not be able to connect with the Zoom. So I mean, we can still hear your voice. So if you want to talk through,
Okay.
if you want to just talk through the podcast, VC, then you could do that.
Okay. Yeah. I'll try and see if I can get that to work, but to not interrupt the flow. I mean, first off, credit to Penn State and the way that they played. They played a great game. I never liked when people say they wanted it more because those guys in the Ohio State locker room, they wanted it as badly as Penn State did. It was just a really tough game. We had too many mistakes that Penn State forced us into. Um, but that fourth quarter, we really finally got it going, and it still felt like we had a chance. It never felt like we were out of this game. I do believe that the defense did everything that they could, to keep the offense, to give us a chance to win. And a lot of their points came from, just like you said, from those turnovers that got them into scoring position and stuff like that. I mean, we had the big fourth down stop. I mean, there was a lot of going for fourth downs with the game on the line when the team could have taken points. That was one thing I did notice throughout this conference title games, and it started here when Penn State went for it on fourth, and we got the stop, and we were driving down the field, but we just couldn't connect. And nothing but credit to Penn State and getting their first ever Big Ten title. And I'm just gutted for them, guys. And we just got to see where we are in the play, and see where they put us. So I'm very excited to get our chance. I think we'll still be in the playoffs, but definitely a lot of testing that we have to do. A lot of folks are understanding of the team that we have this year, and it's back to the drawing board for us, and we just hope that we get another chance. So, but credit to them, and credit to CJ Johnson. I know he's been wanting to get that win against us for a long time after we beat him back at CS6 when he was on Oregon State. So credit to him, man. He played a fantastic game, and yeah, that's all I got on this thing.
Big win right there as they are going to the playoffs for sure. 12-1 as Big Ten champs, as Pecan said, for the first time. It seems like that's a little bit of a rivalry building up in the RFL College Series too in that Big Ten, because I mean the last team before Ohio State got on that streak, the last team that beat them before that streak was Penn State, and to get them here in this big game, I mean that kind of just adds to that storyline. So that was big time. But Tuesday we had the Utah versus Colorado game. I got a chance to call this one, and man, was this game amazing. Went into triple overtime. Utah got smoked last time they played Colorado. They lost 41-16 in that game, but Utah gave it everything in this one. Had a huge performance from running back Vince Reed, over 240 yards rushing, a pair of touchdowns. Eric Alcorn, his stat line might not look good. He had two interceptions, no touchdown passes, but he also ran in the end zone 2 times for a touchdown, one off a QB sneak, and another one he just took off in a clutch moment to pretty much send the game into overtime. And unfortunately, a lot of crazy shenanigans was going on, big plays in OT, but ultimately Colorado ended up winning it and getting the final stop after they converted on a 2-point conversion on Utah right at the 1-yard line to their star receiver, Gerard Higgins. What's your takeaways and everything on this game?
This was one of the best games of the year. I mean, you look at Eric Alcorn's stats, and you would think that he didn't play that great, but the plays that he made in this game to keep Utah in it. I mean, Vince Vince Reed, 243 yards. That's just an amazing day. But all I gotta say is the heart of Eric Alcorn willing Utah as best as he can to keep them in this game. I'm pretty sure he had the rushing touchdown in this game to tie it. Um, it was just, I mean, this was one of the best games. Colorado, we haven't seen them challenge too much this year, and we already seen Colorado destroy this team about 4 weeks ago. And it was just, when they finally got challenged a couple of weeks ago against UCF and they won. So this was another chance for the Buffs to show like what can they do, when it's time to make a play. And Colorado man, Greg Dembo, he was great. I know I'm about to butcher this name. Fetu Manamalena.
Manu Mali Maluna.
Yuna.
Manu Maluna.
That's how I've been saying it.
Manu Maluna.
Fetu
That's hard to say on
Manu
live broadcast.
Maluna.
I was messing that name up too.
Yeah.
Fetu
So,
Maluna.
but just like I noticed, this team against Colorado, they have one of the best secondaries in the college series, and you cannot turn the ball over against this team. And they got two of them. I mean, they lead the college series in picks, but we also got to see why that aggressive offense can sometimes work against you. Yeah, it's great to have all those plays and hurry and hurry, hurry, hurry. But if you can't make any first downs, you're not giving your defense any chance of a rest, and almost bit them there in this game. And Utah got to play the style that they wanted to play. They were controlling the pace. So that will definitely be something to watch going forward for Colorado. Utah, unfortunately, they will miss out on the playing. But congrats to the Buffs on their first ever Big 12 championship and their first ever playoff appearance.
Big time game right there. Of course, we had a doubleheader on that Tuesday that kicked us off with another banger, and then of course that led to another for the SEC championship as LSU, former number one team, going up against the team that took their number one spot. They were number 3 ranked coming in this game, going up against Bama. And yeah, both teams only had one loss on the season. Bama suffered an OT loss against Oklahoma, and of course, as I spoke about, Alabama beat LSU to take to end their undefeated streak and to take that spot from them. But LSU comes up, gets vengeance in the biggest way. They win the conference, and a big stat line in which you brought up, man, is crazy. Jaden Young, the last couple of years, I mean, this guy's been playing in the SEC for 4 seasons, right? Played for 3 different SEC teams, and with this loss, never won an SEC championship. He didn't go, of course, his first 2 years, and then last year lost to Georgia, and then this year losing to LSU. That's tough, but of course he would like to finish his career with some hardware with a national championship if possible. So we'll see if that happens, but now we know for a fact both of these teams are going to the playoffs. Alabama falling short to LSU 26-19. Had a huge play from the guy you see on the poster here. Brandon Cherry was able to take an interception to the house, and that really is what tied them up and set the tone for LSU. A rough game from Jaden Young. So Jaden Young, even last week heading into this game in the Iron Bowl, didn't have the best performance, and then to go up against LSU in that tough defense, he didn't air him out or kill him like they did in that last meeting, and no touchdown passes. He got picked off twice. It was a rough one right there for Jaden Young. Ground game was good, but it was nothing like it was the last time these guys played, as Andre Romano checked in, and their best leading receiver was Dior Gore with just 71 yards. So I mean, just a phenomenal performance. Catches being made all over the place from the 2 outside receivers and Bobby Winmush and Tony Finley. Just an overall great performance by LSU, hanging in there, coming back and taking the game and the title. What's your takeaways from this game?
I'm just shocked with how this game went because Alabama defeated LSU without 3 of their biggest players. They didn't have Dior Gore, Andre Romano, and Casey Chestnut, and they destroyed them on their own field. and then they come back. They're full strength against the same exact team that they just played about 3 weeks ago, and they just, I mean, that performance from Alabama was just bad. Like, it's kind of crazy that Frank Adai ran so much better than Romano did. Yeah, Romano 18 carries for 75 yards, but LSU, I was very shocked because if you remember the last game, they were playing very horizontally, but this time they let Suamai Via challenge the Alabama defense, and we've been talking about how the Alabama defense hasn't been talked enough as like one of the best units in the college series, and they attacked them like, and I was just impressed with how LSU played, and even though they were trading field goals back and forth, like as soon as the pick six happened by Brandon Cherry, it just felt like it was LSU's game. It never kind of felt like this game was really going Alabama's way. They couldn't score any points, and I mean it was starting to hurt LSU for a bit. They got stuff in the red zone twice, and then finally right at the end they gave it to Jeremy Speed right up the middle, and he scored. And just credit to LSU, man. Like the way that they bounced back, like after being destroyed on their own field, 41-13, to come back and take down Alabama at full strength. I mean, it was just a very impressive performance by Suamai Via. But another guy I want to give credit to is Jamie LaRue.
Yeah.
He was another guy who was getting them key first downs. So I mean, LSU, whatever they changed going into this game, it obviously worked. And we'll have to see now. I mean, after the loss last night, they're probably going to be the number one team. You got to think that they will be. So it was just an incredible performance by LSU, and now they just won their second ever SEC title game, 2-0. They beat Tennessee back in CS5, and now they beat Alabama. And remember, at the beginning of the year, after that Miami game, you were very high and big on it and say, guys, this LSU team is legit. You guys need to watch out for this team, and they showed it all year, blowing out everyone. And it's going to be very interesting to see where Alabama falls in the playoffs, and of course the other team that we'll talk about here soon.
So that is the first three live games. Of course, we're in the big Power Four conferences. So the next 5 games that we're going to be recapping. Of course, we can't forget about those Group of 5 schools. So we start off with the Sun Belt Championship between Louisiana and App State. Louisiana taking this one, I believe. I think it was App State I had as the favorites to win this one, and they got beat by 12 points, 27-15. Louisiana had a really good season. I believe they went 10-2, yeah, 10-2, something like that. And App State, I think, was leading the Sun Belt at that time, and it was the Raging Cajuns coming out with the big conference championship win here. Anything you want to say about this game?
Well, before we get to another game, it was a great week to be from the state of Louisiana. I'll
Yeah.
say that. Like, I just now realized that because we were about to talk about another team. Wow, what a great week for Louisiana. So, yeah, you had App State favored by 7.5, so by 8 points. And App State, they just couldn't get it done. This was the first game that was being done, and I mean, Louisiana was just in control of this whole entire game. So that's pretty much all I got to say on that. They did have a very big pick six that helped them out, and I'm pretty sure who was the Sun Belt champions last year. I'm trying to remember off the top of my
Sun
head.
Belt, I cannot remember off the top of my head. I definitely
I
can.
got it right here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that was one of those like, okay, Sun Belt champions were, it was Troy, so this is Louisiana's first ever Sun Belt title in the college series. So congrats to them, and can't wait to see what they do in the bowls. So.
Going on to Group of 5 game 2, championship game 2. We had the Conference USA championship between Jacksonville State and Liberty. Low scoring game. Neither Neither team scored 20 points. Liberty were the favorites to come out on top of this game, but again, another conference championship upset. And Jacksonville State gets it done 17-12. Takeaways from this game, Peacock.
This was a great game, and you want to talk about a game of inches. Like, this was literally denied at the 1 yard line that the Flames could have won this game, and Jacksonville State denied them. It was kind of very slow game there at the start. You know, it was kind of petering there for a bit, but Jacksonville State they were able to get 6 on the board right at the end with 2 minutes to go, and then the Flames. This was a big game because Liberty they are ranked in the top 25, and if they would have won this game, they would be big fans of the Memphis Tigers in their game, and then it ended up being Jacksonville State. So Jacksonville State, they ended up getting their first ever Conference USA win. Last year was Middle Tennessee State, so this year's Jacksonville State. I'll say this, they are some AKCs, and if you don't know what that means, then look it up because I can't say it on here. But that's their phrase there in Jacksonville State, and congrats to them. And just like I said, that final drive to deny them at the one, I mean, you can't get any more football than.
Yeah, big time win right there. And I mean, how many upsets wins, I mean, non-favorite teams was that already? Of course, you had
I'm
you
about to
guys.
look, actually.
Then, of course, Colorado was expected to win. Alabama was expected to
Yeah,
win. They didn't. So that's 2. The last game we just talked about, App State was
Buffalo
expected to
and
win. So that's
Boise State.
3. And then we got 4. So this is already the 4th game out of, I believe that's 5 that we went over. That was the underdogs not expecting to winning. So, I mean, that just goes to show you how this conference championship week went. Going into that game, you talked about Buffalo here. Buffalo getting the victory over Toledo. Now, they were the favorites to win this game, and they put up big points, 58-31 over Toledo to win the MAC championship. Takeaways from this one. I mean, of course, one guy to look out for on that team, Niles Takeoff. And that running back didn't get to see too many games of him. Of course, there's this group of 5 schools, but this kid's amazing.
29 carries, 155 yards, 4 touchdowns. That guy was insane. Like, if you haven't watched any, he was. And I'm just saying, like, guys, like, whoever they are playing in the bowl game, I'm going to check that game out because I really want to watch this kid play. He is electric to watch. I mean, he's a 91 overall, Smitty. Like, he is legit as they come. He would probably even do well in a Power 5 conference, If we would have had transfers on of when we built this file, he would have 100% have gone to a Power 5 school. So that's how good this kid is. I mean, they were just in control of this whole entire game. I mean, they had over 580 yards of offense, and they just played an amazing game. And for Toledo, they were the Cinderella story of CS7. It was a great story to watch, but the clock struck midnight on
Would you say you got cut out?
Magic tonight. So, I was saying that the clock struck 0 on Toledo. The magic is out. So they champs and congrats. That's another team I think they are the Buffs. So 2 Buffs won this week. So something to keep in mind. But yeah, all I gotta say, guys, watch out for this kid, Niles Takeoff. That's all I'm going to say.
Big win for Buffalo, MAC champions. Who won the MAC last year?
It was Toledo.
Oh yeah. Okay, they went back.
They were the only team. They were the only team from the group of 5 schools to be back to try and repeat as champs.
Gotcha. Things getting spicy in those group of 5 conferences. Then we had our second to last premier game of the group of 5 conference championship games, which was the Mountain West Conference Championship between Boise State and Wyoming. Despite Wyoming being the top ranked team in the conference. I had Boise State favored to win this game, and they came out and got it done, 47-30 over the Cowboys. What's your takeaways from this game?
Boise State got their revenge. I streamed on the Extra Games channel this matchup back in Week 12 because I saw, that these were the two top teams in the Mountain West, and so I was like, hey, this could be the Mountain West title game, and Boise State, after giving up a heartbreaking loss to Wyoming, who scored a game winner against them, they just came back into Wyoming and they took over. I mean, it was just, I mean, it was close there for a minute, but things just got out of hand. There was a pick six as well. But the Boise State offense, they just couldn't be stopped. And they just took over. And running back Greg Spriggs, 24 carries, 148 yards, and a touchdown. Like, it was just a very great game from the Broncos. And last year, I'm pretty sure it was Colorado State. Was it Colorado State or Fresno State that won it last
Fresno
year?
State, I'm pretty sure, won it.
Yeah, it was Fresno State. So now Boise State is, for the first time and the last time, because next year Boise State is joining the Pac-12, so they will be joining the Pac-12 next year. A lot of yep, they will be joining the Pac-12 next year with a lot of other schools. So in their final year of the Mountain West, they get the Mountain West championship. So congrats to them.
Big time right there for Boise State. And the last Group of 5 conference championship, man, was the AAC, the American Conference Championship between Memphis and Tulane. These guys played earlier this season. Tulane was able to handle business. This game started out extremely rough for Tulane, man. Thought for a second they were going to just fumble their opportunity to go to the playoffs. But these guys, as they typically do, they always are going to explode at some point within the game offensively, and they just took over, ended up beating the Memphis Tigers 41-24. Takeaways from this matchup.
Well, Tulane was holding. I mean, Jacksonville State was probably feeling really, really good for the longest time until Tulane finally bounced back. Man, Devin Norden, he is the real deal. And this Tulane offense, they finally woke up in that second half. They just took over. I mean, what was it? It was 24-3, so they ended up scoring no, it was 21-3. So they outscored Memphis from that point, 38-3.
Yeah, I think you had cut out there after you said the 38-3.
From Tulane.
Oh, you there, Pecan? You got a little
We still haven't seen Tulane really challenge.
Hey, Pecan,
we haven't seen.
Go again because it cut you off when you said 31-3. I think you said something like that.
It was 38-3. They ended the game on a 38-3 run. But what I'll say really, really quick though is that Tulane, man, we haven't seen them challenge all year except the South Florida game when they were just in that 61-54 game, and then they kind of looked a little suspect there against UConn of all teams, but they still won, and then they finally got the show of when they are down if they can come back, and they did. And just credit to them. Zion Taylor made some pretty big catches, and I'm gonna butcher this name. Kalabena Adeyemi. Did I say that right?
That sounds about right to me. Yeah, I mean, that sounds believable.
So he had a big day, 11 catches, 97 yards, a down, and then, of course, the defense in the second half. They were making plays. They had the big fumble that they were able to get off of one of the best tight ends in the college series, off Sean Verle. That was just it was a great comeback to watch. And Tulane and Colorado are the only two undefeated teams left, which I never thought we would be saying that the only two teams left who are undefeated is Tulane and Colorado.
Yeah.
And just like I said, what a great.
Nah, he cut out.
Week to be living in the state of Louisiana. 3 Louisiana teams won a conference championship. Unreal.
Yeah. And so that gets us through the Group of 5 conference championships. And of course, the last one to talk about, which is what everyone's pretty much been waiting on for this recap, was the conference championship game of the week. Playoff hopes was on the line. Miami had a heartbreaking loss to Clemson earlier within the season, missing field goals that could have won them that game. As looks like we got Pecan back, so let me go ahead and switch that camera back to the duel. But yeah, and then I mean, a 6-game losing streak Miami was on heading into this game against Clemson. Clemson was also on a 27-game winning streak. I mean, I could go on to how much was riding on this game for both sides. And of course, Clemson was the favorite to win this game. And boy, we saw one of the greatest performances from a quarterback this season. And of course, one of the greatest performances from an offensive line perspective this season. I mean, this guy had all day in the pocket. And then even when they did finally get some pressure back there to touch him, they slid off of him like a bar of soap. And I mean, Taylor literally was just dissecting his defense with 42 of 50, 425 passing yards. He did throw an interception, which was the first pick on a good-looking scoring drive, but then after that, 2 touchdowns, including a read option he took in. So he had 3 touchdowns in this game. The run game was about average, wasn't too much going on. He had the same amount of rushing yards as their leading back in Harris with 41 and a touchdown. So, I mean, honestly, he could have been on that board again statistically for this, but wanted to throw, show love to Harrison. And man, the catches the receivers were making in this game. Rashad Mitchell, man, what a performance! Because I mean, he literally went up against one of the best cornerbacks in the nation, in Brian Robinson. And I gotta give a bell there, man, because I mean, he cooked Brian Robinson, man. A true freshman really working that guy. And it wasn't even like Robinson wasn't there. I mean, the dude was doing everything he could. He was there in coverage. Dude still made the catches. He just didn't matter. Had a crazy catch he had on the left side, or he just caught it on his head. Brian Robinson was right underneath it. But, I mean, Dante Taylor, again, with the ball placement was amazing. Beat him on a jump ball. Corey Polly took off in the slot. They had 2 receivers over 100 yards. I mean, this was just a lights-out performance by Miami in this one. They finally get that win over this Clemson team and punch their ticket into the playoffs and in the potential undefeated national championship, streak and chance that Clemson had to join Georgia as the only team in the college series to do that. Of course, they still have a shot to go to the national championship. They're going to the playoffs regardless. But, man, what a game. I can't speak enough about that performance by Miami. And then also, I mean, still was great performance, too, by Clemson. Just fell short. Miami seemed to be their kryptonite in a sense this season, man. Again, could have won the last matchup. But, things happen. It is what it is. Didn't go that way. This is how you get it back, and you punch your ticket back to the playoffs. The takeaways from this.
Let me just say, Dante Taylor played the game with his, and he's been talking about how much he wanted that game out of anyone. What a performance by him, and as someone who trying to stamp his mark onto being the best college series cornerbacks going into next year, that was a way to make your mark. Congrats to Coach CP, who became the only college series coach, Spinny, to win a conference championship. There was 4 of us in there, and he was the only one to win. So he gets to be the guy that says, I'm the first one to win a conference championship. And that's the best part about, all of us being coaches too. It ended, I think Clemson was on a 27-game winning streak that was all time, including postseason and regular. I mean, 42 for 50. He had that one pick, but got to give credit to Orlando John out of everybody, because after that pick that he threw, that could have gotten bad for Miami, and Orlando John was able to pick off Colorado Rivers. And here's like the thing though, is like they the Clemson D line had no answer, and they haven't been. And that was something that I was saying back in the Syracuse game, is that they are one of the lowest teams when it comes to sacks. And you look at their passing numbers, like this Clemson defense has been a shell of itself once they lost Butler. Once he's been gone, it has changed the complete outlook of this Clemson defense, and they just don't pressure, which I get it. They force turnovers, which is great. They give the offense the chance. But what do you do against a team that can stack up against you? And, that's not Syracuse. That's not Duke. That's not Florida State. We saw what happened, and Dante Taylor played the game of his life. Two touchdowns throwing, one on the ground. I mean, and Rashawn Mitchell and Corey Polley both combining for over 100 yards on their end. Corey Polley, who's been a master in the slot. I think he has 16 touchdowns on the year now. And Rashawn Mitchell, man, it just shows. I mean, 6'4" against a 6'2" Brian Robinson. That's still tall for a cornerback, but just not tall enough on a route like that Rashawn Mitchell ran. I mean, great job to the Miami. That was an amazing game to watch, and it finally got the it's been their boogeyman for 4 seasons now.
Yeah.
For 4 seasons, they've had their number, and they finally beat them. And I'm so proud of the Miami performance, and even the pressure that they were getting on Colorado as well was very impressive of how they played, and they didn't let Bo do anything.
Yeah.
And let me just say, you can't say Miami wanted it more. Clemson wanted it too. Give credit to where credit is due. Miami played a fantastic game, so I don't want to hear, "Oh, Miami wanted it more than us." No, we wanted it more, I'm sure, than Penn State, but they were the better team on that night, and that's what matters. Is that last night the Miami Hurricanes, for the first time since CS3 and the second time ever, they are ACC champs. Good job to them, man.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to throw some more statistics out there. I mean, Miami was 0-3 versus Clemson in conference championship games. Never beat them. Their record in conference championship games, they went to 5, only won 1 out of 5.
Great, yeah.
They were 1-4 going into this, and so it's just it was a lot of heartbreak. I mean, how many seasons in those earlier college series seasons? Starting since CS2. Really after the fact, where CS2 was still a good season, but after that they were really getting hot, dominant season throughout the mod era, and it was just upset and loss after upset and loss. I mean, he had UNC beat him that year where they were hot, could have won the conference championship, didn't happen. Clemson, of course, beat them when they were like almost undefeated that year, and they lost the last game. Yeah, they lost their last game.
They were 7-5.
Yeah, lost their last game of the season, played Clemson in the conference championship, and got blown out 39-3. And then, of course, a heartbreaker against Clemson again in that following season, CS6. They lost 22-19. And it's just, it was just straight heartbreak after heartbreak. I mean, didn't even get to the conference championship last year. They were right there, lost their last game.
But then they met them in the Orange Bowl
against Virginia Tech. And
on their own field.
Yeah, so it's just like the storylines that are just built up in this league just over time just always is amazing. And, of course, Miami is definitely... it got a crazy one. This rivalry is going to be something crazy. We could see, of course, CP being the coach of this team for years to come. Same deal with even Diamond Armani, man. I mean, he did a great job with this team this year, and he's trying to keep Clemson on the map and represent the alumni. So it's going to be interesting seeing these guys play, most likely seeing each other as they most likely, most of the time, have always done in the conference championship game, man. But again, even harp on, man, it was a phenomenal job by Miami. They took away that run game. Bo Sanders, he's always going to find a way to score. That's one thing Bo going to do. He's always going to find a way to get in that end zone. He leads the nation in touchdowns. He got in there. But man, you got to credit this Miami team as a whole, and that defense with taking that big key factor away from them. And knowing that, when Bo gets his opportunities to touch the football, he's explosive. So if you limit Bo and you take away, those, 15 to possibly 20 times he touches the ball a game, and, he's probably going to get like 13, maybe 15 rushes out of those touches. That just, is a big impact on how, you know, you can slow that Clemson team down, but not many teams have been able to do it, because even when you do that, can you score on Clemson? No team has been able to move on Clemson and finish like Miami did in this game, and
That's been the thing.
that was the thing, man. And that's the only way you can beat Clemson, because if you're not finishing drives, which most teams aren't, and they'll give up the yards. His defense has not been good, as we mentioned, in terms of, you know, really stopping and giving up a lot of big plays. But they have been great at keeping teams out of the end zone, and they just could not do it against Dante Taylor in this offense. So again, big shout out to Miami. No bells, man. No bells to go around here. I mean, Clemson again played a
That was
really
just an
good game.
amazing game.
Yeah.
That was just an amazing game. And guys, like I said, the Clemson passing defense
Yeah.
ranked 109th coming into this game, 9th in passing defense and yards allowed, but they ranked top 10 in forcing turnovers. That has been their story the whole entire year, is that they are the ultimate bend but don't break. Last night they finally broke.
Yeah, and, you know, it's tough to live off of that, you know. But when you're as good as a team as Clemson is, you can do that. And I mean, undefeated throughout the regular season, man. Undefeated, and that goes to show you how tough it is to beat this team. Miami showing if they could take down Clemson. I mean, honestly, they could take down anybody. So this playoffs is about to be crazy. And with that being said, we have recapped all these games, and this is it, guys. It's time to see this playoff bracket right now. So here we go. The official playoff bracket. I think I need to throw this up top. Let me see. Here. Oh, is there a way I could bring this up top? Yeah, I'm going to put it over our faces so that way guys could just see it. And
Yeah.
cool. So we won't be on the stream here, guys, with our cameras. But this is the playoff bracket.
Here we go.
For CS8, officially. First round, we got Oregon versus Clemson, Miami versus Tulane, Oklahoma versus Ohio State, and Illinois versus Texas, man. And the guys getting the bye week is Alabama still in the top 4. LSU back at number 1. Penn State jumps in the top 4 at 3. Colorado, the number 2 team in the country now. And man, this is just crazy. What's your thoughts on this first round matchups, and just this bracket right now from what you see before we get into our predictions on who we think is going to the national championship?
These first round games are, I mean, this is as entertaining as it can get. I like these first round matchups a lot better than what we got back in CS7. I mean, that is a special field right there, and some very fun storylines to watch. I mean, Oregon is making their 3rd ever playoff appearance, you know, and last year they were upset by the 12 seed Toledo last year, and now we see them here at the 12, you know, playing against the defending champs. One of the best storylines the whole year, Tulane making their 1st ever appearance, and they're playing against a team who is as hot as anybody. Miami, I mean, Tulane is undefeated, and this is what we have been saying. What can Tulane do of when they finally get to this point and they play a team of this stature, and we're going to see it, whereas they're going to play against Miami. The history just writes itself. The first ever RFL College Series game that was ever played on this channel, Ohio State versus Oklahoma. I'm glad we got a game. That's going to be a great game to watch for us. I'll keep my thoughts elsewhere for now. And how about Illinois coming back, you know, for a 2nd year in a row? A lot of folks felt like a year ago they didn't deserve to be here, but this is a very different Illinois team now. They definitely deserve to be here, and they get to play against Texas, who is making their 1st ever College Series playoff appearance after, you know, the heartbreaking year that they had last year with the schedule that they had and all the L's that they took. I mean, and for them to get back into the playoffs, like, that is a great first round matchup. I mean, all of these games have so much fun storylines, you know, to watch for. And are we making our picks now, or no, or do we still want to turn the other?
I'm probably, like, it's going to be probably hard because you're going to choose your team by default, so it should be only me that does it, because
I can get my picks on the other 3 games.
Yeah, I guess you could do the rest, but just even like you talked about with storylines. I mean, look, how crazy is this? I mean, Clemson's going to have to really, if they make it through this gauntlet and win a national championship, then this is like they definitely deserve. I mean, you're going up against Oregon. It's not a team to sleep on. You win that, you got to go up against Bama. And then most likely you win that, you're going up against more than likely to a Miami again or LSU, because of course Miami is the favorite in that Tulane game. And how about the storyline for Miami moving forward if they're able to beat Tulane? A rematch against LSU, which was the first team to embarrass them in their first loss of the season, which was back in week 1. So I mean that's crazy. You guys handle business against Oklahoma, and that means you're going to face against Penn State, who took away,
Oh my
the
gosh.
Big
Yeah.
Ten conference championship away from you. Colorado, is a good defensive team and everything, but how good are they against talent? And whether it be Illinois or Texas that they face next round, that's going to just be a great game to see where they actually stand as one of the two only undefeated teams in the series this year. This is just amazing. But with that all being said, I'm gonna go ahead and go through. We got to go through the whole bracket. So I guess you want to start first with your bracket on where you think guys will go and who's going to the national
Yes.
championship. All right.
All right. So my first one, I mean, I want to go. I mean, I want to be bold. Oregon. I mean, you look at the schedule that Oregon has had to play. They played a gauntlet in the Big Ten. Um, really quick. Sorry to Nebraska. I know you guys wanted to be here. That's heartbreaking. Hopefully, you guys can maybe get back next year. I have the Clemson Tigers winning this one. Um, so that will create Clemson versus Alabama. And Tulane. It's been a great story. It's been a fun one to watch. But Miami is just way too good. I think Zion Taylor and the Devin Nord didn't show. They do have the home field advantage, so that is something, guys. Remember, all these first round games are played at home of the higher seed. I still think Miami is going to come to Tulane and win that game pretty easily. You already know who I'm going with. I mean, I'm just going to be biased there. Texas versus Illinois is a very interesting matchup on paper. Man, Illinois, they beat us. They also, I mean, they only lost to I'm pretty sure Nebraska and Oregon this year, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Illinois, they've already beaten the SEC team at the beginning of the year. They beat Missouri. This is a chance for Josh Prince and Vince Ham or to show what they can do against the SEC defense. They'll be playing in Austin, but I like Shady Houston and Nyshawn Miller to win this game. I think Texas wins that game, so that will make Clemson versus Alabama. That's, oh my gosh, that's the toughest one.
Yeah. National
Um,
championship worthy right there.
and we're getting that in the quarterfinal. And that was a game that everyone kind of thought would be like,
Yeah, that's what
Clemson
I
at number
predicted the
one,
Natty would be early on.
Alabama at number two, and if Clemson beats Oregon, then we're seeing that in the second round. Uh, Man, I just think the thing is, though, it really depends on which Jaden Young you're going to get in this game. I mean,
Yeah.
but the thing is that LSU, they pressured Jaden Young. Clemson doesn't pressure. Like they don't send very many blitz packages, and they haven't done that the whole entire year. It's mainly been 4 3-man rushes with this team, and I feel like for a team, because Alabama's O line, you look at it, the O line of Miami, Alabama's O line is the best in the college series. And if Clemson can't get through the Miami line, I don't think they get through the Alabama line. And if they don't change their game plan up and they just let Jaden Young sit there, I think Alabama gets their revenge from last year. Because remember, it was Clemson who beat Alabama in the semifinals
Mm-hmm.
last year in the show. I think it was the Cotton Bowl that they played in.
Yeah.
So I think Alabama gets their revenge. Miami and LSU,
Tough. Another
that's
tough one.
tough. I think Miami gets. I actually, you know what? I think Miami is as hot as anybody as they are right now. I think Miami wins. I think Miami wins that game. I think what CP has already shown, like, hey, this is what you did to me at the beginning of the year. He's already expressed to us of what went wrong. I like Miami to win that game against LSU. I feel like this is another game where it's a reverse flip from earlier, and I think Miami does beat the number one team in the country. Um, I mean,
Yeah, skip
all
yours.
I'm gonna say is, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Texas and Colorado. I think this is another story. I don't think we are going to see an undefeated champ, Smitty. I don't think we are going to see an undefeated champ. I think Georgia, just like, who is it? The 74 Dolphins. I think the CS2 guys, Jermaine Taylor, they can pop the champagne again, and be like, hey, we're the only ones. I think Texas beats Colorado pretty easy. I think that defense that Texas has, I think they are going to give Dembo a pretty rough day. And I think Texas wins that game, which will create Texas versus Ohio State. And Miami versus Alabama. Miami versus Alabama. It's tough. Oh man, I don't even know who to pick for that one. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just, you know what? Miami. Give me the U, man. Give me the
Uh-oh.
U. Miami.
Canes to the Natty? First time?
Give me the U. I'm gonna take Miami to beat. I'm gonna take Alabama. They are going to lose to Miami. I think what CP is doing, they are as hot as anybody. I got Miami going to their first ever national championship game. They have the defense that they can pressure Jaden Young and make him uncomfortable, and that is the key to beating him. Um, of course, so pretty much I'm going to say Ohio State versus Miami in the championship game, but I will not give a winner. So
Yeah. All right, so in terms of my take for this, in the first round, Oregon Clemson, I'm going to take Clemson to win that game. Just as the favorites, man, I'm sure they're going to want that bounce back win after the loss of this conference championship game, man. The thing about Oregon that kind of gets me in that matchup is like, even though Oregon's a really good team, Miami, just their matchup and what they have is just different from Oregon. Their receivers, big body guys, were able to come up with big catch after big catch, big play after big play, and create separation. I'm not saying the receivers can't, but they're more smaller, and to be able to make those big plays as we saw Miami did, you need those kind of receivers. Guys like Brett, breaking his forgetting on his name, but
Brett Height,
yeah, Brett Heitman. He's just a small guy working out of that
5'11".
slot. I just don't think that he's going to be that guy. He's really their best receiver on the team. I don't see him really taking charge of the offense, catching the ball as we saw from Rashad Mitchell or even Corey Polley. I mean, he could definitely be a Corey Polley for sure, working the slot. But I mean, where's the other guys outside there? I know Otagwe is another guy, but he's not really. Those other guys just
6
have
foot.
not really been it to be able to make those plays. So I'm going to take Clemson to advance on to Alabama in that one. I feel like Miami, despite not being home, is just too talented, and they're definitely going to more than likely run into that same old field goal situation with them being the away team. But I mean, I don't think that's going to matter at all. So I got them advancing in the rematch against LSU. You guys versus Oklahoma. I feel like can be a really close game and honestly can go either way. But I'm just going to definitely go with you guys. I mean, after the conference championship loss, same deal with Clemson. I'm pretty sure you were already talking about your flaws and what you saw within the offense, looking to try to get them better, working on things. And Oklahoma at times can be very inconsistent and we say lateral with their offense at times, and I think that can come back to hurt them in this game, especially against a team like yours. They may have taken down Bama though, so I mean that was great, but I don't know if they can take down a team that's up there as good again, but we'll see. We'll see. Illinois versus Texas. Illinois is really good. This could go either way too. I think a lot of people were sleeping on Illinois and what they're actually capable of doing. But I do feel like Texas, they have a great defense. And Nashawn Miller is really going to come down to Nashawn Miller. I always say that in the Texas game, man. If he's on, it's over. He doesn't need to
Yeah.
kill you passing the football. He just needs to be that dual threat. And if he's taking off in the big moments where they need it, scooping up those first downs, extending plays like Kyler Murray, I think he wins this game for Illinois with the home field advantage. Going on to the next round, the quarterfinals, Clemson versus Alabama, man. And again, I'm just going with who I
It
thought
is
was going to win the
tough.
national championship, and that was Alabama at that time. So I am going to take Bama to beat Clemson within that game. Got the home field advantage. Of course, it's not going to. Well, actually, there is no advantage because, of course, that's a bowl game. But I just feel as
Yep.
though Bama, has that opportunity. But can they lose that game? Absolutely. But a big point in which you brought up, which I agree with, is Clemson. How are they going to be able to pressure Jaden Young? And if you can't pressure Jaden Young and you got this guy rolling, it's over. I mean, literally, it's if Jaden Young is on, you're not winning the game, in my opinion. So I got Bama advancing on to the semifinals as well. Miami versus LSU. I do also agree. LSU, even though they took that #1 spot and they took down Bama, I feel like the matchup in the way in which we saw Miami play too, I got them having that advantage of beating LSU in that matchup. I feel like we will see Sua Maivia just play more of the inconsistent lateral game as well. And that's what's going to come back and hurt LSU, in my opinion. I feel like they do that a lot. And if Miami could just play like they did in that ACC championship game, I'm taking them. So same exact prediction there. Penn State versus Ohio State rematch, man. This is crazy, but I am going to take you guys. Penn State did manage to get that done, but it took a lot for them to do that, man. Like all 5 of those turnovers, they were able to get 3 picks. One fumble that honestly, should have got reviewed and been reversed. That didn't happen. And
Yeah.
a
Oh,
forced
now I'm
fumble. There's a
mad.
lot of plays that really happened for Penn State to be able to edge that out the way they did. And they would have to pull out an unbelievable game in order to get that victory again. I just don't think that they're going to be able to do that twice against Ohio State. So I got you guys advancing on to the semifinals. And I agree. If Texas goes on, I've got them beating Colorado, man. It's been a great season. I wouldn't sleep on them, though, because I tell you one thing. This Colorado defense is good enough to where, you got a quarterback like Nyshawn Miller who, has not been the greatest in terms of passing statistically. I mean, his a couple games, he's just under 200 yards.
The Kentucky game.
Yeah, it's just like the way he plays the game actually benefits Colorado and their defense on how they can shut down their offense. But I am going to take Texas. I think they're the more talented team. I think they're going to the semifinals, and we got the same exact predictions going in the semifinals: Miami versus Alabama, and Texas versus Ohio State. First with Miami and Alabama. I am going to, after what I saw again from Miami, I think they definitely got what it takes to beat Alabama. But they would have to put 3 big consistent efforts to get that done. And so, like, I don't know what it is, but if I had to pick just based off what we saw recently, the last 2 games for Jaden Young has not looked the best. I think he can still carry on, make some, win in that first round against Clemson because of that lack of pressure. But he's going to get pressure from Miami for sure. And so from that, and then them on the defensive side of the ball against that great Miami offensive line, I don't see them pressuring and getting through to Dante Taylor like that. And again, if they do, the way their kid's been able to move in the pocket, I think he is going to be able to send Miami to their first national championship game appearance. So I agree with you there. I'm going with Miami. And then for Texas versus Ohio State, this was a very close defensive matchup when they met each other last year. When you guys met each other last year, it was 10-7. And I just feel like you guys are just more talented in that regard. I think you will be able to shut down the offense. The run game, you guys are already top notch in that, #1 in run defense. So I could see that really taking away their biggest factor on offense and limiting Nyshawn from throwing the ball. So if you can't score, you can't win. And so I'm going to go with Ohio State to go to the national championship. So we both agree there. If I had to pick a national champion, though, if this all is to happen, I think Miami wins their first national championship. How crazy of a storyline would that be to go from literally having to win your conference championship game against an undefeated 2-time back-to-back national championship team, getting that done, and then winning a national championship running the table all the way through. That would be a crazy storyline. Of course, that's easier said than done. These are all hypotheticals on who we think's going to win. Pretty sure this playoff's going to have its twists and turns. But if I had to make the prediction, that is my prediction for how I think the playoffs are going to go. So,
And let's not forget, Smitty, Ohio State is the team that kept them out of the national championship game the first 2 times they were ever in the playoffs too. So that would be a wonderful storyline.
yeah.
Of course, I don't like your pick. That's all. That's what I'll say. But we'll have to see, man. I'm so excited for these games. I think the storylines for all the first round matchups is really great. And one thing I'll add on here is like for the Oregon Ducks, I mean, for Clemson, man, like we know what they like to play defensively. And Torrey Baines, one of his biggest issues this year is sometimes he can get too careless with the ball.
Yeah.
Torrey Baines is going to have to play perfect in this game if they want to pull off what Toledo did against them last year. Do you see which ones out of these four do you think are the closest, and which ones do you think have the chance to just kind of get out of hand and as far as blow? Let's go.
Well, the only one that I think has a chance to get out of hand is the Miami Tulane game. The other ones are pretty much neck and neck. The closest one though I see, that's hard. That's honestly hard. I think all three of those can be very close, just about the same. So I really cannot choose on that. But what I will do is I will let you guys know that these games are going to be played this upcoming week, and the first and all the bowl games will be premiered, guys, because all the playoff games they take up our live spots, and since those are the most important, all playoff games will be getting streamed on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday as they happen. So we're going to have all 8 first round and quarterfinal games being streamed, bowl games premiered. And the first playoff game that we're going to have going first is Oregon versus Clemson. So make sure you guys tune in for that. That's going to be a banger already to kick us off. And then on Tuesday, we're going to have Miami versus Tulane and Illinois versus Texas. And the first round game of the week, Oklahoma versus Ohio State. So those are the games we got coming up this week. I do not have a scheduled graphic for you guys. And right now, with that being said, we're going to show you guys now the top 25. And after we show you the rest of the top 25, we're going to get into revealing the bowl games that are coming up in between those live games that we have. So we are finally back here. What the heck? That's the wrong top 25. That was way back. I still got that.
Oh my gosh.
This is what? CS7? Oh, that's last year. Okay.
That's CS7. Oh my gosh.
How different is this look? Oh, that's back in week 5, huh?
Yeah.
Take that off. Yeah, here we go. All right, so here is the new top 25. We already know the top 12 because we've seen the way they were placed in the playoff bracket. Nebraska is still at 13. Nebraska. UCLA moved up to 14. TCU dropped down to 15. Georgia, Syracuse, and Tennessee still in their respective orders. Kentucky moved up over Utah after their loss in the Big 12 Conference Championship. And Utah just fell down 1 spot. Liberty still in the same spot despite their conference championship loss. Texas A&M at 22 moving up. Duke moving down. Both of those guys switching spots. USC dropping down to 24. And breaking into the top 25 is Cincinnati. So that is your bowl week top 25 ranked teams. And we got Pecan over here hype about something, man. What you hype about, man? Mo Klutz.
All I'm going to say to QPOC.
Oh.
No, it's me. Just look at the Discord or whatever. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that
is. You wrong for that. You wrong for that. That's what I'm gonna say.
Well, yeah, this is the official top 25 of right now. So a couple things definitely switched up in the playoff bracket after those conference championship games. But now we are going to get into the bowl games, and here we go. Starting from the top. We have Georgia State versus Bowling Green in the 68 Ventures Bowl. Notre Dame versus Utah and Alamo Bowl. I guess what I'm going to do. Well, let me read them off, and then I'm going to let you guys know when those are being streamed. Then we got Toledo versus New Mexico and the Arizona Bowl. And the Armed Forces Bowl, it'll be Florida versus Memphis. Bahamas Bowl, Kent State versus Arkansas State. Birmingham Bowl, Missouri versus Georgia Tech. Boca Raton Bowl, we have FIU versus Louisiana. Of course, we already went over the first round playoff games, so don't have to go through those. The Citrus Bowl will be Michigan versus Maryland. Battle of the M's right there. And we're kind of going into the second week of bowl games. This isn't happening yet, but the Cotton Bowl, we already know for the bye week team, Alabama's in that. The Cure Bowl, Jacksonville State Conference champions are going to be taking on Northern Illinois. Then in Duke's Mayo Bowl, we have my boys, UNC, North Carolina. I'm going to be wearing, if they win, man, I'm definitely going to be wearing my UNC fit. But yeah, UNC versus UCLA, number 14th ranked UCLA, by the way. And then we have the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Kennesaw State versus Wyoming. Moving on to the next set of games, we have USF versus Louisville in the Fenway Bowl. Army and Southern Miss playing in the First Responders Bowl.
Let's go, Army.
Frisco Bowl, Iowa State versus East Carolina. Game Above Sports Bowl, California versus Miami of Ohio. Gasparilla Bowl, we have Pittsburgh versus Florida Atlantic. Gator Bowl, Texas A&M versus Tulsa. That matchup, I think, is going to get hectic.
That's not.
Hawaii Bowl versus San Diego State. Hawaii Bowl, we have San Diego State versus UTSA. And we have Syracuse versus Nevada in the Holiday Bowl. Independence Bowl, Liberty versus Cincinnati. That's going to be a good one. 21 versus 25.
I think that's going to be a good one.
LA Bowl, SMU versus Boise State. Las Vegas Bowl. Now, this is probably the worst matchup I've seen out of the bowl games. You literally got number 18 Tennessee versus an unranked Colorado State team. And I think they just barely made it to at 6-6. If Tennessee's already putting up crazy points, and Jackson Willis is putting up almost 300 receiving yards against SEC teams, what do you think he's going to do against Colorado State? I think these dudes might break the record for the most points scored in a game in this one, man. I think it's going to get hectic. Yeah, he'll definitely reach over 2,000 receiving yards after that matchup. Then we got a Liberty Bowl. We got Rodney coaching with, of course, those Baylor Bears up against Auburn. And Auburn's a really good team. Cannot sleep on them. A really good SEC team. And we got the Military Bowl with North Texas versus Florida State. That's another matchup that I don't think was too good. I think Florida State's going to kill those guys. Big matchup right here, though, for the Music City Bowl, though. Georgia versus Nebraska.
That's a great game.
That game is going to be fire. I know UGA is going to be out there in attendance, gassing that game up. I know Caden Moreno is going to be out there with his Nebraska Cornhuskers. Hype. I mean, he could have been in the playoffs. Unfortunately, things didn't go that way. But here's a chance to beat a really good 16th ranked Georgia Bulldogs team. So that's probably one of the best bowl games we have to look forward to. And in the last set of bowl games, we have Old Dominion versus Rice in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. West Virginia versus Appalachian State in the in the New Mexico Bowl. Then New Orleans Bowl, UTEP versus Coastal Carolina. Already went over those playoff games. Pop-Tart Bowl, we got number 15 TCU versus Stanford. Rate Bowl, Arizona State versus USC. ReliaQuest, I think that's how you say it. ReliaQuest Bowl. Washington versus Minnesota, a rematch. These guys faced earlier within the season. Game went into overtime, and Washington pulled that one out 51-48. So that's going to be a really
that was an amazing game.
Yeah. Then the Salute to Veterans Bowl with Buffalo taking on James Madison.
That should be a good one.
Sun Bowl, UAB versus Duke. Another matchup that I think is, man, Duke's going to destroy UAB. And then Texas Bowl, Kentucky versus Oklahoma State.
That's a good really one right
there,
too. Good one.
So I guess let's go back up to the top. And what I'll do I guess I'll read it out because these are images we took since we started recording. I'll read out what the games are going to be and what the predictions are podcast wise. No, I mean yeah, spread wise. Let me see here. All right, so we already talked about what the playoff games are going to take up all the live slots. But Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, we got Buffalo versus James Madison. I got Buffalo winning by more than 2 touchdowns. And what I'll do, just so we don't go through all these games like that, man, I'm going to just read out what the spreads are. And just to announce when those games will be played. I'm going to leave this graphic up here, guys, instead of just scrolling back and forth, too, on what those games are. I already read them out to you guys. On 4 p.m. Eastern, too, another game. We got UTEP versus Coastal Carolina. I'm favored in Coastal Carolina to win by a touchdown. Yeah, it was 6.5 spread. Then Georgia State versus Bowling Green. I got Bowling Green with the 3.5 spread right there, so to win by 4 or more. Then at 6 p.m.
Sorry,
Eastern.
Amir.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Jacksonville State, Northern Illinois. I got the conference champs, man. Jacksonville State walking out of that one with a 3.5 spread. Then we have San Diego State versus UTSA. I got UTSA walking out of that one with a field goal win or more. 2.5 spread there. Old Dominion versus Rice. We've seen some extra games from Rice. I'm taking Rice in this one. They've looked really good. They've had some classics behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I got Rice winning this one with a 3.5 spread. USF versus Louisville. I know Steve Washington's wanting those Louisville Cardinals come out with the victory, and I'm going to side with them as I got a 1.5 spread here. USF is definitely not a team to sleep
Even
on.
though they shouldn't be there.
Yeah, Louisville really shouldn't be in that bowl game. But at the end of the day, I am going to take them as the favorites to win with a 1.5 spread. FIU versus Louisiana, the conference champs right there of was it Conference USA they won or
Yep.
yeah, Conference USA.
No, it was the
Sun Belt. Yeah, Sun Belt. I'm taking Louisiana, man, by more than a touchdown, 7.5 spread. And that is all the games from Wednesday that we're going to have this week. Those last 2 were the 8 p.m. games. So going into Thursday this week, 4 p.m. Eastern, Kennesaw State versus Wyoming. I've got the Cowboys, Wyoming winning with a 3.5 spread. Toledo versus New Mexico. I've got Toledo winning with a 3.5 spread as well. California versus Miami of Ohio. I'm going to take Cal in this one by 14 or more points. And we get into the 6 p.m. Eastern games on Thursday. Pittsburgh versus Florida Atlantic. I'm taking Pittsburgh 17 or more points in that one. Syracuse versus Nevada. I'm taking the Qs, the Orange, in that one by more than 14 points. So 14, scoring more, winning by more than 2 touchdowns with 14.5 spread. SMU versus Boise State. I'm taking SMU Mustangs by 2.5. And we have Arizona State, 8 p.m. Eastern game versus USC. So Daniel Severio, favorite in this one. I got him winning by more than a touchdown with a 7.5 spread. And back-to-back Coach Bowl games right here. We got Rodney versus Auburn. Although Rodney did turn Baylor around, I am going to be in favor of the Auburn Tigers to win this game with a 4.5 spread. They're just, just talent-wise, I just feel like Auburn's just a better team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on Friday, we have to close out, of course. Oh, yeah, that's a playoff game. So we already went through that. So those are the games that are going to be happening this week and what those spreads are. And what I'll say is we'll have a podcast. So I guess we're going to leave it at that. I don't want to go through every game. We're going to save that for the next podcast after we recap the first week of bowl games and, of course, the first round of the playoffs. So those are the spreads. I'm going to go ahead and post those in the RFL Discord right now. So here we go. Week 1 spreads. They're out there. So you guys can go ahead and place your bets down on those. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Okay, just to read, I didn't read out favorites. So I did go through who I thought was going to win in those first rounds and stuff for the playoffs. But I have Clemson favored to beat Oregon with a 5.5 spread by 6 or more. I got Miami beating Tulane by more than 21 points, man. 21.5 spread. Then Illinois versus Texas. I got Texas with a 4.5 spread in that matchup. And then, of course, the final game this Friday with Oklahoma and Ohio State. I got Ohio State with a 3.5 spread. So those are the spreads for this week of week 1 of bowl week, man. And yeah, and great games we got coming up. Some great blowouts definitely bound to happen. I still can't believe that UAB matchup with Duke and Tennessee versus
And Colorado
State.
State
That's
and
just
Tennessee.
ridiculous.
Like, come on.
Absolutely ridiculous. Let me put up the thumbnail now here. Because now what we're going to do is we went through the bowl games. We know what the bowl games are. We went through the playoffs, and now it's time for the last part of the podcast, guys. Moment you guys have been waiting for, the awards. Now I'm going to show this straight through the game because I didn't have a graphic for this. So let's go ahead and pull up for. They got head coach stuff. We're going to choose our own head coach. So first award, I'm going to read it out. I'm going to say it out, and then I'm going to show you guys how the order went and then turn it off and back on type deal, okay? So I got to remember what the award names are again.
For the RFL side?
Yeah, I got it, though. I'm going to pull up the college series thing.
Okay.
Should be able to do it. All right, yeah, here we go. So the Dre Crowell Award goes to whoever was the best quarterback, Dre Crowell. Of course, everybody who has an award that has a name is an RFL player that won that award first in the RFL. So that's the meaning behind the names. That goes to best quarterback. Last year, it was Jaden Young. He had over 5,000 pass yards in that season, 55 touchdown passes, man. 12 picks, 71%. I think that was at the end of the year, though. That did not tally what he was before the award. So I'm going to do this for every award. Who do you guys think won best quarterback this year? Give it a little minute for each one, and then we're going to reveal. Definitely a couple notable guys out there. Jack Sky saying Dylan. Dante Taylor, Rashad Mitchell says. Jaden Young, Dior Gore. Dante.
Edmund
Yuki
Yuki
is crazy. Dylan
wow,
Lewis.
that's a throwback.
Probably Dylan. Got Corey Baines in there for one. Baylor Kennedy. All right, your Dre Crowell award winner for CS8 goes to Jaden Young, once again, 2-time back-to-back quarterback of the year. And he is able to just best Dante Taylor and his amazing season. Despite the last rough couple of games he had, still hung on to that award, man. And, oh, yeah, I don't want to go through stats, so I'm not going to go through that. So leave all that alone. But, yeah, he wins that award again. Dante Taylor coming in second. Got USF's quarterback. I'm just read off top 5. Lorenzo Griggs at 4. Devin Norton from Tulane. And Suamai Via at 5 for LSU. If I get the chance to make a graphic, of course, to post for the social media, you guys will be able to see just the top 5, just as I read off right there. And a couple honorable mentions, as you can see below. But, yeah. Oh, let me put this controller on the charger before the thing dies. Just got a nice little warning.
What I will say though is, congrats to Jaden Young on winning your second ever corner. Dre Crowell. I honestly thought Dante Taylor could have won it after last night. I thought after the performance that he had, he probably would have won it, but the game went with Jaden Young. So Jaden Young, even though it was a tough performance against LSU, he still had an incredible year. So
yeah, and I remember us talking
after
after the game. I was just like, man, I feel like if Dante Taylor probably threw 1 or 2 more touchdown passes, that would have did it. But 2 touchdown passes and then the pick. If he didn't have an interception, maybe that would have given him a little bit. But I think he would have at least needed 3 touchdown passes in this game, even though he had 3 total with the rush. And I think that's what didn't get him over Jaden Young, despite
Yeah.
the little slump he had. So yeah, congrats to Jaden Young, man, 2-time Trey Crowell Award winner. We're gonna move on now to the Worsley Award winner for best running back. Trey Worsley, I'm referencing to from the RFL, played for the Celtic Tigers as well, still does. Going into his 10th season in the RFL, which is crazy. Really getting 10-year vets here in the league. I'm trying to pull up. Where's the running backs? Okay, yeah, I got it pulled up here. So, with the running back of the year award, last year it was Andre Romano, who had over 2,000 yards rushing at this point, 15 touchdowns. Who do you guys think wins the Trey Worsley Award for best running back in the RFL College Series? Let's see you guys' predictions. Shout out to Trey. Guys giving their congrats to Jaden Young. Tremaine James says
Not a bad pick.
let me see, show. Tremaine James says Rashad Mitchell. We got Zach Tank from Florida. Says of course Florida
Oh my gosh.
teammate JoJo Carter.
Even Jack Scott.
Yeah, even Garrett out here talking about Bucky, Aaron Buck from Oregon. Like that guy's being biased here.
Guys,
Trey
be
James.
real. Gosh.
Yeah, Trey James from CP there. Tremaine, seeing a lot of guys seeing TJ, man. Tremaine James.
A lot of saying
tremendous
James.
year. And your running back, your Trey Worsley award winner for best running back of the year goes to Bo Sanders, running back for Clemson. Had a tough one, and I'm gonna be honest, man. I think that one touchdown that even though he didn't have a good performance at all against Miami, that one touchdown was it. Like, he just needed the one.
Yeah.
And it just edged him over Michigan. I mean, this guy does lead the nation in touchdowns, and we could go because both of those games have been recorded, but just like look at this here, look at the touchdowns he had this year, man. 27 rushing touchdowns. That's a lot. He led the nation in that. And then we look at Tremaine James, crazy stat line with over 2,200 yards, 2,232 yards is ridiculous. 21 touchdowns, but 6 more touchdowns Bo Sanders had with less carries. So I mean, just put that into perspective. It could have gone either way, but of course,
it really could have.
Yeah, of course, with that touchdown lead, I think it's right, to go in favor of Bo Sanders there. He won a Trey Worsley Award back in CS6. So 2-time back-to-back Trey Worsley Award winner for best running back. So shout out to Bo Sanders, man, in the chat, and looking to see if he can win his 3rd national championship back-to-back, man. So that is your Trey Worsley Award winner. We will now get a look at the Keith Guyton Award winner, which is wide receiver from the Huskies. I like giving the history. I like giving the history, man, when it comes to, these awards. And so guys know before they get in the league, who these guys are that are still, again, currently playing. Keith Guyton was a rookie when the RFL league first started back in 2016. Literally came in as a rookie. He wasn't any older like Drake Crowell when it first started. He won that wide receiver of the year award as a rookie, which was crazy, and ends up being one of the best receivers still in history in the RFL to this day for the Toronto Huskies. The last year award winner for this award was Dior Gore from Alabama, who had 71 receptions for 1,652 yards and 24 receiving touchdowns. So a crazy year. That's what he ended on again. So it's a little inflated compared to where he was at when the award was given, but that was it. And with that being said, now it's time for the community to decide who do you guys think won best receiver of the year in CS8.
I mean, do these guys have to guess? I mean, it should be pretty obvious.
I mean, Steve, Dior, Jackson Willis, Jackson, Corey Polly Tobias.
Oh my gosh, Severio.
Rohan Boxy. All right.
Rohan Boxy is nuts. I agree, Darius.
All right, and here we go. Your Keith Guyton Award winner for best wide receiver of CS8 goes to none other than the best receiver statistically in the country,
Literally
Jackson Willis. Man, what a crazy
deserved.
season he had. Look at this, 130
Unreal.
catches, almost 2,000 yards in the regular season, 1,981 yards, 19 receiving touchdowns. It's crazy. 12 drops out there, but I mean, when you're
Smitty,
getting a lot of targets and catches, I mean, you're going to drop some.
Smitty, this guy has gone over 200 yards in 4 games this year.
Crazy.
He's gone over 200 yards in 4 games. He averages 165.1 yards a game. We will never see anything like this ever again. Just insane.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Coming in second, we had Fetu. I'm gonna just say Manu, like Manu Ginobili. We're just gonna say Manu. We're gonna keep it simple like that. Yeah, Manu Maluna. Manu Maluna. And actually kind of easy to say, but then when you look at the word, why you look at his name trying to say it, it's tough. Manu Maluna. But yeah, Colorado's receiver coming in at second. Corey Polley coming in at third
as well.
from Miami.
Yeah.
You had Cordavius Swope from USF, and then Kawabena Adeyemi, as Pecan said, or with Tulane. So yeah, Gore wasn't in the top 5, but he was close. He's in 7 right there from last year. Zion and Taylor, you can see also on the list a little bit there. So yeah, a couple notable guys.
When you look, I mean, I understand what Bo is saying, but when you look at the stats of everybody that's in front of him, this wasn't the Dior Gore CS7 year. Like this is what happens when you add another weapon and things get muddled, But Dior Gore still had a fantastic year. So.
And I would say, man, I was looking at, Tennessee, and there were some guys that were kind of giving flack, like, well, the type of offense that Tennessee runs, they pass a lot more, they run a lot more plays. When I look back statistically, though, that was not really the case. On average, Tennessee actually runs the average amount of plays as everyone else. And the fact that he was able to put these statistics up with that shows this guy was utterly ridiculous making plays. I looked at the passing attempts from Danny Johnson, and that's what really told the story to me. I was just like, man, no, this guy was literally just that nice this year, having the best season any receiver has ever had in the college series up to this point. And of course, he's going to have more stats. This guy's going up against freaking Colorado State. Like, he's going to probably
have over 400 yards.
He's definitely over 2,000 yards receiving. There's never been a receiver to meet that feat. And so Jackson Willis, the user receiver, man, true freshman, is going to be the first one to get that done. And that's incredible. So there goes your Keith Guyton Award winner. And next up, we have the Sean McClure winner. Sean McClure was a tight end for the Red Dragons back in season 1. I think he's still around. He's probably a free agent. I don't think he's still on the team, but I think he played for them last year. So yeah, Sean McClure was a dog. Last year's Sean McClure winner for best tight end was true freshman Joshua Chucky of Clemson. He had 58 receptions for 931 yards, 9 touchdowns. And so I want you guys to guess, what tight end do you think was the best this season? As I look to try to find who won that here. Oh, yeah, I got it. I see Flores, Charlie.
Realistic.
Charlie. Flores. Back and forth between those two. Charles Dotson.
Charles Dotson as well.
Arturo. Says Q. All right. So your tight end of the year, Sean McClure award winner, goes to Arturo Flores, tight end for Ohio State. And we can get a look at his statistics. They didn't play a game yet. We didn't stream Memphis's game or anything yet, right? I don't think so. So here's a look at the statistics, man. Tight end had 1,200 receiving yards on the dot. only 6 receiving touchdowns, which, you know, for me, that's where I was just like, I think what got him to win this award literally was because you guys were more successful than Memphis, in my opinion. Because this guy underneath Sean Virely, look at this. 14 over 1,459 yards, and pretty much everything statistically. He's had the same touchdowns. But man, he had
But
20
look at his
drops.
drops.
Though. Yeah, 20 drops though. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, still, almost identical, more yards. I think the team success is really what was able to jump it up. And there was other guys out there too that had more touchdowns. I thought they would favor more touchdowns when it came to this. You got Florida's tight end,
I think the Pittsburgh guy, yeah.
Yeah, Pittsburgh guy is crazy. He's at the top 5. But Deion Goldson, he had 1,106 yards, 9 touchdowns. He only had 8 drops there. Chandler Lewis from Minnesota.
Been a beast.
7 touchdowns, just under 1,000 yards. He's probably gonna get that in the bowl game. Then Pittsburgh tight end we were talking about, he had 11 touchdowns, but under 1,000. But still, like, it's crazy. Tight ends getting close or more than 1,000 yards in the season. So like that's just crazy right there. I mean, what's how you say this guy's name? John. Yeah. Agelana.
Ejalana.
Yeah.
Ejalana.
Unless it's typed Spanish, Ijalana.
But Ijalana. Yeah, it couldn't be that. Yeah.
The guy is black though. I don't know. You've seen some dark skin Spanish.
But let me just say about Arturo. For 2 years in a row, he's been the runner-up for tight end of the year. I feel like he should have won it last year, which we had that big, debate of when the awards was like. But I understand why it went to him. To me, he's the greatest college series tight end of all time, and people can say that I'm biased, but look at his game of literally for 4 years in a row. It's insane what Arturo Flores has done. And he's finally getting the recognition, and he won his first ever tight end of the year award. And I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that's big time right there for Arturo Flores. Definitely been consistent every year for you guys, and is deserving of that award for sure. Moving on from tight end of the year, we got offensive lineman of the year. Best lineman award is named the Henry Nilsson Award. Another Celtic Tigers player, offensive lineman, played the center position. Actually, he played all over the place for the Celtic Tigers, but he was mainly known for that center position. And last year's award winner was Alabama's offensive guard, K.C. Chestnut, who only allowed 3 sacks in the season. So let me go ahead and try to see if I can find. We actually have 2 offensive lineman of the year awards here. But
there's a center.
Yeah, there's a center one, which is K.C. Chestnut. But they're saying they're saying interior lineman. So yeah, so he would count even as a guard. So that's center guards. And K.C. Chestnut back-to-back offensive lineman of the year, man, for interior lineman. As he takes that one. Look at the sacks allowed this year. He only gave up 3 sacks last year.
4 offensive tackles, man. I just now realized they don't.
Yeah, this is just for interior though. This says interior lineman. They have an offensive lineman where they add tackles. But yeah. K.C. Chestnut, 0 sacks given up. Look at the pancakes on this dude. 156 pancakes, man. Dude was giving out more pancakes than IHOP. And played all 12. Obviously, they play all their games, no injuries. But yeah, dude was absolutely incredible this year. Running up is it Huddle? I think it's Huddle.
Here it is. I don't wait. Hold on. I don't know if Huddle. I'm about to look at his stats. Does he actually start? Because let me look at his snaps. He has been getting more playing time. Okay.
He definitely plays.
He didn't really play from week 0 to week 8, but then Miami put him on the line because I was shocked by his snaps played. He started playing in the Clemson
59.
game.
So yeah. So let me see if I compare that. About half the plays. So yeah, he's about half the year type deal. So that might be a little bit off there. Damon Law, guard for USC, 97 pancakes, only get 1 sack.
Tremaine DeBose has been
another Bama player here. Tremaine DeBose, 184 pancakes. Jeez, only 1 sack allowed. That's the other guard. And then at 5 we have Georgia's Jason Hausler, who only had 1 sack allowed, 120 pancakes out there. See why these guys weigh so much. They're eating a lot of pancakes. But let me go to the other lineman award because we do have that as well. I don't know why they just don't have these in order.
I also don't know why they don't have a defensive tackle award. How is the center and the interior lineman going to get recognized, but they don't? Come on now.
Well, they say defensive lineman counts as anybody, and then defensive end they use.
Oh, I was talking about offensive tackle. I thought you were
Oh.
about to go over center.
Why are they not popping up? Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, they don't show no love to the tackles out here. I thought
No, man.
I thought this went for offensive lineman and the whole. So I don't know what's going on with the awards here. But Jason Hausler is your center of the year for Georgia. We mentioned him. He was at top 5 in the interior lineman. We got
He was
UCLA's
really good.
Terrell Keenan. 3 pancakes for him. Only 100. He's got to be off, man. He did not play much. Only 139 snaps.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, those definitely got to be off.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize the offensive lineman kind of need to be into.
Todd Sutton, Penn State, he definitely started. No sacks allowed, 68 pancakes. Got Old Dominion, no sacks. He played over 1,000 snaps this season, 10 pancakes.
No sacks allowed.
Yeah, and at 5 we have FIU's Alex Carney, only 1 sack given up, 16 pancakes. Of course, these are guys who really didn't get their game streamed. I don't know why so many pancakes just happen in sim gameplay, so that's why it's so high. So those are ridiculous, never will happen type statistics, but just read them out so you can see how they compare making plays to everyone else. So that's your offensive lineman of the year award. Casey Chestnut back to back for Alabama for the Nielsen Award. And now we get on the defensive side of the ball. Best defensive lineman is the Antonio Griggs Award, played back in the day for the Mexico City Conquistadors, now changed, of course, to the Sacramento Miners, and still playing with the Miners. Griggs has been an absolute beast, terrorizing the backfield. Definitely looks like he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Last year's Antonio Griggs Award for Best D lineman went to Wyatt Harris, as he had 91 tackles for 21.5 sacks and 52 TFLs, 2 deflections, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. That's all of what he had last season. And so I want you guys to take a guess who you guys got as defensive lineman of the year this year.
And that was his second award last year too. His second defensive lineman of the year award.
I'm seeing all wide again for the back-to-back. Jaquez Edwards. And your defensive lineman of the year award, Antonio Griggs Award winner for best defensive lineman goes to, once again for 3 consecutive years, Wyatt Harris. Wyatt Harris dominated. We already went over the stats. He had how many sacks here? 30 sacks in the regular season when he had 21.5 last year. So that's crazy. The record is 35.5 by his own teammate that was set last year, and Nick Oquin. So a defensive tackle doing this is just absolutely unreal. 49 tackles there, 62 tackles for loss. He had 52 last year. Again, he's still in the playoffs, so he's going to keep adding to this. Forced 3 fumbles compared to 1 last year, so the guy just continues to get better. And played all 13 games, including that conference championship game. So, yeah, he even actually had 90 tackles. Because, I mean, you include the assists there were 41 and the 49 solos. Yeah, it's he absolutely has dominated D-line year after year. 3 consecutive D-lineman of the year awards is ridiculous.
And let me just say, Ohio State has now won out of 8 college series since Ohio State has now won 5 Defensive Lineman of the Year awards. First it was Brewer, and then K and J, and now of course Wyatt has 3 times in his career.
Yeah,
So that tells you a lot. And look at what K and J and Brewer are doing in the pros. I think Wyatt Ayers, who a lot of folks think is going to be the #1 pick. Congrats to you, buddy. Your third ever offensive lineman of the year. I'm surely going to miss him playing on him. He's just been a beast, and this year he's just improved again.
yeah, absolute stud. Running up, we got TCU's Ty Darnold. He had himself a crazy year too. You can see where's his sacks? 29 sacks. Well, he almost had the same amount as Harris. 4 forced fumbles. He was neck and neck with Harris right there, man. Only
He
one
was a
player really
beast.
took it.
I did a lot of TCU games, and he was everywhere.
Yeah, big time right there. We got Randy Wilson running up at third. He had 11 sacks this year. Ethan Marks, who won Defensive Lineman of the Year last year, top 5 at 4, 17 sacks this year. And Tyler Jones, Alabama's defensive end, 14 sacks this year. All right, next up we have the Defensive End Award and that is the Drew Brewer Award, the only award that was actually named after a college series player since we separated and added DN and D lineman of the year. And the last one to win that was who I just mentioned, Ethan Marks, who had 19 sacks, 79 tackles, 47 TFLs, 1 pass deflection, a forced fumble, and a safety. So he tore it up. Who do you guys think won Defensive End of the Year this year? Manny Rojas or Ethan Marks?
This is an award that, man, if Nick O'Quinn, if you would have let me done that thing at the beginning of the year.
Marks. Randy Wilson. All right. So your Drew Brewer Award winner for Best Defensive End goes to Randy Wilson, DN of Oregon. Had himself 11 sacks. I'm kind of shocked by that. I mean, he had a great year, but you look at this statistically and you compare, and Ethan Marks had 6 more sacks than he did. But he had more tackles, solo tackles, I guess. But I mean, the tackles were still about the same. Forced 2 fumbles. Randy Wilson didn't force none. So I mean, I don't know what it was, but they favored Randy Wilson as the defensive end of the year. So I mean, that's a little shocking there, a little controversy from the game, I'd say.
Yeah, I thought Ethan Marks should have gone there. But
Yeah.
congrats to Randy
Ethan Marks
Wilson,
came
but
in
I
second.
do feel
Yeah, Ethan Marks
Ethan
came
Marks
in
should have
second
won.
there with 17 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Tyler Jones was in third, 14 sacks. At fourth, we had Leon Winfield the third. He had 13 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. And at 5, we had Matthias Hyman from Colorado. He had 17 sacks himself. So three forced fumbles. So kind of really shocked at Randy Wilson winning over if anything, I think he should have placed 5 out of those guys that were just listed.
I mean,
Even
look at some of the stats from like Will Wolford or Russell Shackelford, even Manny Rojas. Like, I mean, David McGo, I understand. Avery Vickers, I understand. But Troy Rubin, Manny Rojas, Russell Shackelford, and Wolford. Look at their stats compared to Randy. I mean, I'm kind of shocked by this, but damn.
Shocking. Any shocking award at this point is definitely that one. But there goes your Drew Brewer Award winner, Randy Wilson. All right, next up we have Best Linebacker, which is named after Charles Raymond, who's a stud. No longer with the Red Dragons. He got traded later on to the Miners, so he's with the Sacramento Miners. I'm not sure if they still have him. I think they do. The Charles Raymond Award winner, though, last year was Nick O'Quinn, who had 93 tackles, 59 TFLs, broke the record in sacks with 35.5, had 5 deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, a safety, and 2 defensive touchdowns. That's a crazy list to read off. That's how crazy Nick Oquin was that year. Before Charles Raymond, best linebacker of the year, who do you guys think wins it? I'll go ahead and try to pull this up. Okay, I got it. Dustin Turner from JoJo Carter. Brian says Jack Sky. Mr. Brian O'Connor. I have no idea, to be honest, says Q. Yeah, let's go ahead and reveal this, man. Your Charles Raymond Award winner for best linebacker goes to Quincy Lawler, generic linebacker from Kentucky. Had himself 4 interceptions, 5 sacks, 64 tackles, that's solo, 77 assisted, so well over 100 tackles there, 19 pass deflections. So he was swatting that ball down. That's more than most DBs in the country. And he played all 12 games there for Kentucky. Ryan Bryant was leading this one for a while with Oklahoma.
I thought it was going to be Brian Bryant.
Yeah, he had 6 interceptions, 4 sacks, 16 pass deflections, 70 tackles, 86 assists. So, I mean, really it could have gone either way. Definitely thought Ryan Bryant would get it, but Quincy Lawler, I think they respected more of the TFLs in a sense and stuff like that. So he got that. At 3, we had Kentrell Heaney from Duke. He had 3 sacks, 75 tackles, 32 TFLs, 2 forced fumbles. So sometimes they bring up different stats here. Sidney Cook for LSU's dog, 63 solos, 36 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 3 interceptions. And then at 5, we had Marquez Clemens from Colorado, who had 73 tackles, 107 assists. So that's 180 tackles from this guy. That's crazy. 30 TFLs, didn't force any fumbles, got 2 sacks. And of course, these guys are all playing at different positions. That's at the mic, too. So the mic is going to rack up those tackles like that. All top 4 of the top 5, 4 of them, Mike and Kentrell Heaney or Will, making these plays. All right, next up, we got the Matt Hoover Award for Best Defensive Back. Last year was Princeton Butler, who ended his career after a 14 interception season, 19 pass deflections, 77 tackles, 5 TFLs, a sack, and 3 defensive touchdowns. But, he's no longer here. Who is the next best defensive back this year, guys? Let me know in the chat who you think it is.
If Jack Sky says himself. He did. That was on cue.
Shot said Polk wins it. My boy Jack Sky Wyatt. Polk says Lito, Kevin Book, Daniel Severio. Honestly, no clue, says JoJo. Got to be Colorado, 99 overall. All right. For the Matt Hoover Award for Best Defensive Back for CS8, it goes to Matt Polk, safety for Miami. And this guy was pretty much playing both. He was safety, came in at corner, was getting moved on or over around the field due to the coaching of Chris Polk, his brother. And he had 8 interceptions, so that was big time. But really what got him the award was the pass deflections. 26 pass deflections to lead the nation. That was ridiculous. Didn't get any sacks, but man, this kid was all over the place making plays. I remember one game he had 3 interceptions. Leading the nation in interceptions was Kevin Book. He had 12. I thought he might get it off the picks, which usually awards go to the guy who gets the most picks, but it looks like those pass deflections just weren't high enough for Kevin Book. And so, yeah, they gave it to Matt Polk there for your Matt Hoover Award winner. Yeah, 12 picks, 73 assist tackles. Yeah, it's 47 total tackles. So that's over 100 tackles there. Let me see what Matt Polk had. Yeah, he had close to 100 tackles, 54 assisted and 44 on solos. Coming in third, Dante Smalls had 2 interceptions for Alabama, 16 pass deflection and 2 sacks. At 5, we had B.J. Todiah from Oklahoma, 2 picks, 2 sacks, 16 pass deflection. I think they really valued those pass deflections, to be honest, now looking at it.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
Yeah, 6 interceptions. Zion Anderson Jr. from Penn State. He had 10 pass deflections. He didn't get a sack. But again, DBs ain't known to just do that. But 60 tackles, 71 assists. So he had well over 100 tackles on the season at that strong safety position. So he had 3 safeties and 2 corners on the list. So and Brandon Cherry was who had a crazy game there. He's just outside the top 5.
He snuck up on him.
Yeah. So that is your Matt Hoover Award winner. And we will now go on to best kicker. So best kicker last year was Carl Nielsen for Clemson. He was 45 of 52, 86%, 100% on extra points, which everyone pretty much is. Well, there's been some blocks this year, so I can't say that. 13 of 19 from 50 or more yards out, which is 68%. So that was Clemson's kicker again, Carl Nielsen. I'm not going to ask you guys who you think won the best kicker because I know you guys do not know those guys. But so I'm going to just go ahead and reveal it. Your best kicker of the year goes to Colorado's Evan Daly. We're getting a look at his statistics on how they compare. He made 39 out of 45 field goal attempts, 86% completion. Was it conversion rate, I guess you could call it?
Field goal percentage.
Yeah, field goal percentage. Yeah, which is exactly what the percentage was for Carl Nielsen last year. And yeah, his longest field goal was 58 yards. So yeah, as we get a look at here.
I feel like it could have gone to Josh Sexton, if I'm honest. But congrats to Evan Daly. But I feel like that could have probably gone to the Texas A.
Yeah, he only missed 2 out of 36, but I think it's the attempts by the amount actually made in attempts by Daly that made the difference. So yeah, we only do kicker. There's a punter of the year award, so I guess I could show that real fast. That's in the game, but we don't give that out. Yeah, punter here.
UMass, let's go.
Yeah.
Army, okay. I'm just letting you guys know, all of these teams here are not great.
Yeah. Trash. And so now with that, we do have offensive players of the year. So let's see.
And defensive player of the year. Yep. Here we go. This is what I want to see because now this is quarterback, running back, and wide receiver all together.
So the Offensive Player of the Year award is named after Joseph Gilly, the Snowhawks quarterback. And so last year's Offensive Player of the Year was Jaden Young, who had 5,462 passing yards and 55 touchdowns. I already actually mentioned his stats before, but he took home that award in Quarterback of the Year. Who do you guys think won Offensive Player of the Year? Jackson says Dante. Both of these are a toss-up. What you talking about, Willis? Yes, Jay.
Yes, Jay.
Dante. Jackson Willis. All right, your Joseph Gidley Award winner for Offensive Player of the Year of CS8 goes to Jackson Willis. Already read off his stat line. Amazing freshman season, man. Never been done. And he's taking home another award along with his best wide receiver, Keith Guyton Award. Bo Sanders came in second as, again, he led the nation in touchdowns. We had Abraham Powers coming in at third for Penn State. He had 14 touchdowns, was a big weapon catching the ball out the backfield. Tremaine James coming in fourth for Michigan. And then at fifth, we had Jeremy Speed from LSU, 19 touchdowns. He had over 1,200 rushing yards. And yeah, those were your top 5 offensive players of the year. And Jaden Young just outside the top 5 there at 6. All right.
Jackson Willis is the first ever wide receiver to win player of the year as well.
Yeah, so that's huge. That's huge. And next up, we have Defensive Player of the Year, which goes to, which is named after Tyrone Brennan, OG linebacker back for the Houston Voyagers. He only got to play, I think, up to 3 years. He was an older guy coming in, and then got a career unfortunately got cut short, but was an absolute beast in those 3 years, and just unfortunately had to go away. But of course, his contribution was never be forgotten, as he was the first ever defensive player in RFL history. Last year's Defensive Player of the Year was Nick Oquin. I read off his stats last time. He had 35.5 sacks, breaking a record. And so, who do you guys think won Defensive Player of the Year? As I try to get to it. Straight Wyatts. Okay.
Yeah.
And your Defensive Player of the Year goes to, obviously, Wyatt Harris. That stat line is ridiculous.
Let's go, Wyatt.
30 sacks, 62 TFLs, 3 forced fumbles. Again, he gets 6 sacks. He breaks the record for the most sacks in the season. So, what a career Wyatt Harris has had at Ohio State. Running up, you got Quincy Lawler, who took home that Charles Raymond Best Linebacker of the Year award for Kentucky. Ryan Bryant, who was also in contention for that, running up for Oklahoma at 3. Kentrell Heaney at 4, and Sidney Cook of LSU at 5. It's crazy that literally Wyatt Harris is the only defensive lineman on this list. He beat out linebackers to win this award, and DNs. There's not even a DN on this list. And shout out to Matt Polk for even getting on this list as a safety for Defensive Player of the Year, which is crazy. So, yeah.
Let me just say, Wyatt Harris, he's now won 3 Defensive Lineman of the Year awards, and he finally wins his first ever Defensive Player of the Year award in his final year. And this is now Ohio State's 5th ever Defensive Player of the Year award as well. So, I mean, it just shows what we've been able to do here as far as producing talent. But congrats to Wyatt Harris. And honestly, I know you can't say anything, but he's got to be the projected number 1. Like, honestly, with the career that he's had, it's insane. So he's also 6'8", 300 pounds. It's just insane.
Craziness. And so that leads us to our last award, which is the biggest award you can get in college football, which pretty much is the Heisman in real life. But in the RFL College Series, it is named after the first ever MVP of the RFL, and that was Hunter Mackey, who used to play for the Riverhawks. He retired a few seasons back. Amazing season he had. Last year's award winner was Jaden Young. Again, went over his stats, won triple crown and awards there. And now we get on to who wins the Heisman. Who do you guys think won the Hunter Mackey Award?
Should we say the nominees, Spinny?
All right, we're going to read out these nominees. We've got Tremaine James from Michigan, Jackson Willis from Tennessee, Bo Sanders from Clemson, Jeremy Speed from LSU, and Abraham Powers from Penn State. Those are the top 5 guys that are in this nomination list. Who takes home the Hunter Mackey Award as Heisman of CSA? Let's see, we got Willis, Wyatt, Trey Coyle Jr., Jackson, Taylor Kinney, got Bo. No QB nominee. Yeah, no quarterback made it.
No quarterback.
Chad Ward is crazy. All right, your CS8 Heisman / Hunter Mackey Award winner for best player in the country goes to Jackson Willis becoming the first ever receiver to win this award. Remarkable season. This was a true freshman who came in here and truly balled out. Absolutely incredible. Of course, the question remains, is this guy going to go in the draft, or is he going to come back next year for the Vols? It's going to be very interesting to see what his decision is. And again, just to say, I messed up again when it came to the declarations. I forgot that guys kind of wanted to check out awards possibly and see if they want to declare for the draft. So the last day to declare for the RFL draft will be tomorrow. So, I'm pretty sure within this time we'll see what the decision is of Jackson Willis. Let me ask in the chat, what do you guys think Jackson should do, man? Do you think he should declare? Do you think he should stay? I mean, this was a remarkable season.
I honestly think he should declare. I think he should declare. I think it would be fun just to kind of see, like, where is he going to fit in with the Dior Gore, Steve McCaskill, Trayvon Sims in June. I think it would be fun to kind of see where he would be. But let me just say, the first ever wide receiver to win it, that is an amazing storyline. Running backs got to wait another year. We all thought this was the year of the running back. Like, we all thought this was the year that a running back was finally going to win. Whether it was going to be Bo Sanders or Tremaine James, they just fell short. But credit to the seasons that Bo Sanders, Powers, James, and Speed had. But Jackson Will deserves this award with the season that he had. I feel like if Bo Sanders would have had a stronger game, maybe ran for over 100 yards or something against Miami and they won that game, I feel like Bo would have won that. Would have won this award. But because it was, not the greatest step per performance, and once again getting 13 carries a game. But Jackson Willis deserves this award.
There's so some comments out there on Jackson Willis. You got QPOC saying, I'm not gonna lie, I know I've been saying he should stay, but to be notified wide receiver 1, I think he meant to say something else, but he should declare. Use that. There's other guys just saying declare. But if he stays, he's basically guaranteed wide receiver 1 next draft class, says Garrett. Certified. Yeah, that's what he meant to say, certified. Okay. Certified receiver 1. Declare and start his grinding early, says ESJ. Declare and guarantee that he will do it. Declare it guaranteed that he will do it again, says CJ Johnson. He just won the Mackey as a receiver. I'll declare off that, says Euro Winbush. Willis probably could tie for wide receiver 2 for this class. Because nobody had a year like him at wide receiver. It says, gotta look at this class competition, says Darius. It's a good entry point. Why not? Smitty isn't complaining, says Mix. He either declare or come to Miami, says Dante. And
I think
is Darius. It says, I think he would be wide receiver 4, making him probably the 4th highest rated wide receiver. Next season, if he does anything close to this, he would still be wide receiver 1 and come out the highest rated wide receiver. It's tough. So those are suggestions from the community and what they feel Jackson Willis should do after just 1 year in the RFL, having college series, having a season like no other receivers ever had, breaking records. Now, what were you about to say, Pecan?
I think he could be wide. He could be wide receiver 3, but I would not be shocked if he's one receiving 4. I think with this year, no wide receiver has ever had a stat line quite like this. And I would probably put him wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. But all I gotta say though, to Keyshawn Covington, imagine if you would have stayed and played in the exact spot that Jackson Willis just played in, and what you could have done.
I ain't gonna lie, that is crazy. So I
Because
wouldn't
Jackson Willis
chance it.
came in there and did it better.
If Mick said I wouldn't chance it, he went off. Declare. I got a big NIL for Jackson, says CP, trying to get him to transfer. It says another thing is I do think he gets a star dev, so he should declare off that too. And then we got Jackson
That's
himself.
kind of like
He says, Jackson here. I'm at work, but can't miss this. Oh, snap. Oh, my God, Mackey.
he's just now
And he's
seeing
just
it.
now finding out that he
Congrats, man.
won
He's just
the
now.
Hunter Mackey Award for best player in the country. First year. Amazing season, man. Historical season. I think I
he
changed my
should.
mind again. Put yourself in Smitty's shoes. I know Smitty not giving him a crazy overall coming out after year one. Stay and just do it again and be certified wide receiver one. I've been reading out some notes. Now, I mean, some advice from the community that's been talking on the matter here, Willis. So you might want to go ahead and, just read that or, rewind it back, look at what everybody's saying. It says, are we doing Neon for RFL again this season? Absolutely. But of course, we won't have that access for you guys until the file's fully built. And CP says, that's fire. Gotta love the RFL.
He's responding to Jackson Willis's comment. That's awesome.
He says, I'm about to cry tears of joy.
Props to you, man.
Yeah,
that
big
is
time
awesome.
season.
But what a year.
Yeah. And that is it, man, in terms of what we had to cover today. An amazing season. I guess we'll leave it now. We went over 2 hours, but it was a lot to cover. I mean, we went over those awards. We know what the bowl game's going to be. We know what the playoff bracket looks like now. And Monday starts it all, man. It's about to be a movie, as it already has been since literally the last week of the regular season. And Willis says, thank you for the love, everyone. I'll most definitely rewatch this podcast. Yeah, shout out to you, man. What a year. All right, so anything guys want to ask us? Floor is open. If it gets rolling, I'll stay up here till 11. I don't know if they'll have that many questions, but if you guys want to ask us anything right now to answer live, RFL related, feel free to go ahead and ask. Elijah Carter asking, can I drop 10 pounds? You cannot shift weight in the RFL. Sorry about that, because the reason why you can't is because dudes, I protect the league from dudes trying to shift and do different things. So like, coaches would definitely try to take advantage of that, moving guys in certain positions just off of the weight stuff of class, and when they really shouldn't be there. And so like, I feel like it's more of a risk of, dudes not really playing in positions they should be. So that's why I do not shift weights. And so yeah, whatever you put, that's what you are. Tulane catching the smoke Tuesday. Playoffs, let the purge. Sirens ring. I hate the sneak and everything. It stands for Free Georgia Tech.
Free Georgia Tech.
Hey, Mix is crazy. You didn't even need to respond to Elijah Smitty. I answered that question for him. I mean, I know you probably can't answer, but if you're willing, if you were Jackson, what would you do? Take yourself out of the commish shoes.
If you can.
In my opinion, man, after a season like this, I feel like I would come back. Me personally. Because that season was crazy. Even if you have yourself a good season, like another at least 11,000 yards, maybe 10 touchdowns, maybe even 9. Like, you just know, like, the overall is definitely going to be better than what it's going to be coming out here. That's all I can say to that. I would probably, like, just because of that. Now, there's a risk, of course. Obviously, it's the risk. You might come in there, your quarterback has declared for the draft. Danny Johnson's not going to be there no more. You don't know what the Tennessee Vols are going to look like next year. So that's something to think about. And so, like, honestly, I feel like you could go either way. Declare now, start working on your player. You can do that. You're going to be 21 years old coming out of the class. So, I mean, if you're active and doing what you need to do, that's going to pay off for you if you do declare now. I do know that you're just coming off from work, so I don't know how how active you're going to be able to gain reloads and stuff like that. And like, based off of whatever team you go to, are you going to be able to have that opportunity to play right away because of where your overall is most likely going to be coming out? So, that's a lot to think of, but either way you choose to go, uh, you could literally choose either way, to be honest. So how many reloads he got? Baby Tigers for dinner. Dante coming back. Jackson. Go to Ohio State with Dre Jr. says Mix. My same mindset. I think another year would do him great, but it's no guarantee that he's even good. Yeah, because you do run the risk. You know what I mean? So I just think great receiver. And how is Tennessee doing in real life? Is their coach fired?
No, they still have the same coach, and
That's
I
a
don't see Josh Heupel getting fired.
that's a good thing to think about too. So that means you're going to pretty much be in the same exact offense. You're not going to have the same quarterback, so you don't know who you're going to get there. Could be great, could not be. That's the only thing, But at the end of the day, if they're running that same exact book, still chances of you taking off. So I don't. You could go either way, man. You could literally go either way. Again, it's that risk. It would suck to come back, and the next thing you got a quarterback that's like a 78, and he's not getting it there like Danny was.
Or Tyon becomes the coach. Imagine.
Yeah, that too.
Imagine.
Says another season like that will pay off for sure. I'll say Miami Jackson. Say, oh yeah, dude's trying to tell him to transfer. And my opinion on that, sorry to shoot some guys down who probably want you. You probably could ball out somewhere else, yeah. But after what you did in that offense, and that with Tennessee's coach being there next year, my opinion, I would not leave Tennessee. That's my opinion. If you choose to stay, in my opinion, I would not leave Tennessee because you're going to get the rock the same exact way. That's the way I look at it. And I would probably look at trying to get a quarterback that's probably, trying to get a quarterback that's a freshman next year that's probably active to try to commit to Tennessee next year to be your guy. So even if it's low, if he's active and he's upgrading his guy, he's going to get better and you're going to get the rock. So that's how I would approach it. That's definitely how I would approach it.
Or there's possibly somebody in Stillwater, Oklahoma, that you can possibly hit up.
Yeah, but you got all of today and tomorrow to think of it, Jackson, man. I hope you make, the decision that you feel comfortable with. Whichever way you go, though, I think you're gonna be good.
Send a little train to Tennessee.
This is DT to Jackson connection.
Oh, he already has a connection with Eric Wellm.
I got him on speed dial already. Okay, so Eric Wellness struggled with Wisconsin. But again, Wisconsin as a whole was just horrible this year, so he really didn't have any help. I've been hearing ramblings of him potentially transferring. And
I have too.
Let me just look at his rating right now. Like, where does he stand as a quarterback at Wisconsin? He is an 82 overall, so he's been boosting his guy because he came in like a 70. It was low.
7 or 78, yeah.
76, something like 78, something like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He's going up. He's definitely going up. Yeah, he didn't have no help on his team though. But again, you look at him, you compare, you want to look at those stats and everything that he's got to see, is this a guy you think that can handle business? You might end up having a better generic next year too, so you get him over there, that generic's better, he's going to take over that generic. So that's another thing. And you try to compare him to Danny Johnson. Danny Johnson was a 91 overall rated quarterback. Obviously higher ratings, more abilities. Accuracy was, he had 87 short, 88 mid, 94 deep. So that deep ball and you guys connection, No, it was definitely Danny Johnson that gave you those big plays with his play going to you. So. Yeah. Any other questions? Oh yeah, mixed
Can you
tripping.
say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you say that? I know it's so weird. I read it at the exact same time.
Mixed bugging.
I don't know.
Um. Yeah. So I think we're good, man. The bowl schedule, I kind of read it out. I don't have a graphic for it. I'm gonna try to work on seeing how I can make that, or if possible, if I have the time to. Um, if not, you're just gonna have to wait for the premier games to show up so that you know when they are. That's all I can really do. I might not have the time to make a graphic for that since there's so many bowl games. Um, but yeah,
But I will tell to Elijah Carter, you guys do not play this week, Elijah.
I think Danny Johnson had to declare, didn't he?
He was a senior. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he couldn't stay.
Alvin Mack is asking about draft
All right,
dates.
draft dates, guys. I can talk about this, man. The RFL draft, we are looking at having it the day after Christmas as of right now. And I think that's going to probably stick. So that's going to make it lit, man. Get your Christmas presents. Next day, draft. Where you going? That's going to be fire. Uh, so yeah, that's where we're looking at having it. The national championship game is actually going to be played earlier than I expected because I forgot that the first 2 weeks of bowl games includes the first and second round. So that actually moves up the national championship a week earlier. So instead of December 14th, the national championship game will be played on December 7th. So that gives us enough time to actually even have and bring back the old fashioned college series East West bowl game. That's going to be fire. And of course, gives us time for more to work on the draft and everything else. So are we having an all-star game? Oh yeah, he just said yeah. So yeah, because that's coming up a week early, we definitely can have the East West Bowl game back in the RFL College Series. And that will more than likely be 2 weeks afterwards. And that also gives us an opportunity to possibly make content for the combine. So that's going to be real. I would like there's an idea I have for that too. But I'm gonna hold off on that just to see where we are with time. If it works out, man, the combine is going to be like no other, man, for real. But we'll find out. And because we have college, I'll say this, the way that the bowl game, the college series bowl game would work for the East West is just like always. It's a draft. I'm not going to go into heavy detail because I explained it to my guys before, but pretty much the players will be selected. And last year we had RFL coaches, of course. Last time we had it, we had RFL coaches pick the players. But because we got college series coaches, I'm going to pick 2 college series coaches to represent East and West. Whoever makes it to the Reload Bowl, though, as a coach, you will not be able to participate in. I keep saying Reload Bowl. Whoever makes it to the CS8 National Championship game will not be able to coach in that bowl game. So I'll choose who I think is the next 2 best from that. So, yeah. Yeah, there was All Americans list. With the podcast being this long, I really just cannot run through that.
That's something that I can like release to the guys. If
Yeah.
I can
So
just
you could
yeah.
post that in
Okay.
Discord because he did take the pictures of that. Taking my family to Dubai for Christmas. I'm gonna be in my Thunderbirds onesie watching. Yeah, so I think transfer portal. He said, so transfer portal. That's more than likely going to happen. Um, during. Matter of fact, did we open the portal before the season was over? Because I'm pretty sure Keyshawn Covington like word was out he was leaving Tennessee.
It was before the national championship
Okay.
game. It was during it was during the bowl games.
Yeah, so I'm gonna figure out when that was, and so that could be within the next week or two. Transfer portal can be
But I
open.
also think, but you also do reinstatement first to see who's
Oh
coming
yeah,
back first, and then transfer.
yeah. And so honestly, I feel like that's gonna be after the national championship game. So I'm gonna say, I think we only knew that Keyshawn was trying to leave anyway because it was in
Yeah,
Sam.
everyone
I don't
knew.
think that
Yeah,
happened. Yeah.
he made it
So
known.
I'm gonna say that that's gonna be like after the national championship game. Reinstatement fees are gonna be out. It's gonna be like a week to get those in. Probably the week reinstatement will probably be the literally national championship week, and then by the time the championship game is done, if you have not reinstated, or maybe I'll give you an extra week after that, so that's 2 weeks, so nobody has an excuse, and then we will have that week during the East-West Bowl game for guys to transfer. So that's how we'll do it. And yeah, so I think that's it. That's good for us to end off this podcast, man. We went into detail about everything you guys need to know. It's playoff time on Monday, baby. It is bowl games, playoff games, national championship within a month. This is about to be crazy. This is about to
This
be
playoffs is about to be
absolutely
so much
crazy.
fun.
It looks like it's wide open for anybody to get there. We made our predictions who we think might get there, but I'm sure it's not going to turn out anything like how we think in some aspects. So that's it for us, man. We'll see you guys on Saturday because we will recap the first week of bowl games. So we'll be right back here next week, and of course, for sure, we'll see you guys on Monday for the opening playoff game to kick everything off between number 12 Oregon and number 5 Clemson. Be there. Don't want to miss it. But that's it for me. It's your boy Smitty, RFL Commissioner and play-by-play commentator here along with Pecan. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.